Hey folks, this is Jake Davies bringing you a top 5 video. This is my second of 3 videos in a series celebrating the cinematic event of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is actually my 3rd video of the day. I don't think I've ever done 3 videos in one day before, so let's just get right into it. This subject, I should say, are the films of Leonardo DiCaprio. DiCaprio is easily the biggest movie star of his entire generation. I would argue that there is not a more famous actor born 10 years before or 10 years after him. He is a huge star. He is no matter what you think of him as an actor, he is, star power wise, he's like the fucking Gable of our time, man, like Clark Gable level star. For me personally, I thought DiCaprio was great when he was young. Soured on him a little bit in the 2000s, and then he won me back over with his more recent films. And unlike with Brad Pitt, where I ranked it on we basically ranked on his influence in the movie. This will be ranked on one of my personal favorite top 5 DiCaprio performances. I mean, DiCaprio, he's been everything, huge star, Titanic, The Departed, Critters 3. He was just such an iconic star, so I just felt that with a movie star of this kind of caliber, this once-in-a-lifetime caliber, it was best to go by his performances instead of just, any other. Nothing else really seemed to work right concerning how to approach him. Same thing if I would have done like Jack Nicholson. It would have been of Nicholson's performances, not the best Nicholson movies. And also one quick asterisk here, since I'm doing 3 videos in honor of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, plus the review I did of it back at last week. Plus I'll probably be talking about it more come New Year's around award season. I just decided not to consider Rick Dalton for this list, even though he's probably gonna end up ultimately being like one of my favorite DiCaprio performances, definitely. And also another reminder: no Tarantino list in this trilogy. I already did my top 5 on Tarantino back in December. Please go back and watch that if you want, or I just send it to you if you want. Number 5, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? In this, Leo plays Arnie Grape, who is a mentally disabled young man, and DiCaprio was the age of the boy, 18 or 19 years old. He's Johnny Depp's little brother, and Johnny Depp is actually the normal guy in the movie. Wrap around that one. And it's just him. Depp is this eccentric guy holding his family together, and the real heart of the movie is his friendship with his little brother, who is Arnie, who is, like I said, he's a handicapped boy. But he's got a good heart, even though he gets in trouble. He gets in a lot of trouble. But it was a star-making performance for DiCaprio. I believe it was the same year that he did a film called This Boy's Life, which was also quite terrific. It was, like I said, star-making, and his career has not slowed down since. And it also got him his first Oscar nomination. Number 4, The Aviator. In The Aviator, Leo plays real-life Howard Hughes, who, in my opinion, is one of the most fascinating figures of the 20th century. The man is mythological. I've been told, I never heard it from his own lips, but I've been told that my great-grandfather believed that he was fictitious. Didn't believe in Howard Hughes, something made up by Hollywood and the media. It sounds like something you would think, too. But Howard Hughes, if you don't know about... And the movie is just the story of his life, particularly his life during the late 30s and 1940s during World War II. Howard Hughes was an aviator, obviously, aerial aviator, as the title suggests. He also liked to produce movies. He also was into... what was the third thing? Well, it doesn't matter. Howard Hughes was a very ambitious man who had the drive and the money to get anything he wanted done, but he was insane, and he had questionable talent. Aviator is a terrific film with just a superb supporting cast, like Alec Baldwin, John C. Reilly, Cate Blanchett, all excellent. Jude Law as Errol Flynn, in a very small role, but just great in it. Has a beautiful art direction where the film intentionally tries to look like the production material of its time. I believe it won an Oscar for its art direction. It is just as entertaining to just look at as it is to watch as a film. It's an excellent movie, and also has a great score from Howard Shore. Number 3 is The Revenant. Now, in all honesty, of the 5 movies on this list, The Revenant might be my favorite film DiCaprio's ever been in. And yes, it is the movie he won his Oscar for, and I want to reiterate, like I said at the time, that I think it was very deserving that he won his Oscar for this movie, because it is such an out of his comfort zone performance. You know, only Leonardo DiCaprio would have thought of Leonardo DiCaprio as Hugh Glass, as this wild mountain man who barely speaks, and when he does speak, he barely speaks English. I mean, and also got to show off stuff like, you know, that he, you know, does speak multiple languages, that he does have like some kind of physical acting training. I don't know if it's quite mime stuff. Excuse me, but you know the physical aspect he brought to the film. You see him scratch and crawl. He doesn't look like an actor trying to mug for the camera. It really looks like a man just crawling for his life with like legs he can't fucking use. It is a powerful movie, a great performance, and he's not the only great performance in that. Tom Hardy's absolutely amazing in the role. And, you know, just one of the prettiest movies you'll ever see in your fucking life. Stunning photography by, oh man, that guy, I can't remember the name, Emmanuel, maybe, something, start with an L last name. But he like won cinematography like 3 years in a row, and one of them was for The Revenant. And then he used natural lighting on the movie, just a beautiful film. And DiCaprio is, I mean, just amazing in it. He's almost even unrecognizable in the performance. Number 2. Django Unchained as Calvin Candy. Now, I would argue Calvin Candy, for me personally, is one of the greatest film villains of all time. And what is so intriguing about him overall is that he's not even the film's main antagonist. Oh, he is the main villain. He's the villain that's going to grab you, get your attention, who you're going to be talking about when you leave him, but he's not really the guy calling the shots. He is grotesque and repulsive and imbecilic, and has utter, I mean, just like delusions of grandeur unlike you've ever seen in a fucking movie. It's just a vicious, cold-hearted, vile human being. There's not a single redeeming quality about his character. It is a flawless and a selfless performance DiCaprio puts out there in that movie. And you know, if you don't know the movie, he's a slave owner, a plantation owner, and his favorite thing to do with his slaves is mandingo fighting. So he is quite the monster. And my number one favorite Leonardo DiCaprio performance is The Wolf of Wall Street, where he plays Jordan Belfort, yet another real guy. Now, Jordan Belfort was just basically a Wall Street hustler who embellished and did some insider trading. And yeah, sure, he broke the law, but as far as I'm concerned, what Belfort did was more or less victimless crimes. You know, except for all the people whose money he stole. Is an amazing performance. It's loud, it's explosive, it's in your face, it's gusto and charisma and energy out the ass in this movie, man. He is so amazing in this performance. No one else could have possibly played Jordan Belfort. And it's a foul movie. I mean, bad language, constant drug use, alcohol use, people smoking, cussing, fucking, every goddamn scene in the movie. It is as an adult as a movie could possibly get without, you know, being pornographic or rated NC-17 like Showgirls or some crap like this. I absolutely love The Wolf of Wall Street. It's an addictive movie. It's one of those films I could watch almost any time, any day, and it's 3 hours long. I couldn't say more about it. You know, in a film that has virtually, I mean, like no violence whatsoever, it is, I mean, a hypnotic film, and easily my favorite performance of DiCaprio's career. Honorable mentions. Like I said, you know, This Boy's Life, he was really great. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he plays a neurotic actor with a drinking problem and a smoking problem and ego problem. He's a mess. He's a mess in this new movie. Ugh. I don't even want to talk about the movies where he disappointed me. Like, like, for example, one of the things with him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's playing this TV star, almost like a Burt Reynolds or a Clint Eastwood of the time. And it's so funny because he fits for it and works so well. Just it shows you what a little age on an actor can do for you. Like, I think his voice has gotten more interesting over the last few years as he's gotten older. But like when he did The Departed, and especially Blood Diamond, I have always heavily criticized those performances because I just felt he was so out of his element playing a tough guy. I just couldn't believe DiCaprio was a tough guy. And even though I thought there's a lot of problems, a lot of silliness with The Departed, that's a super fun movie. The Great Gatsby was terrific in The Great Gatsby. It was like perfect for who the hell else was going to play Jay Gatsby in this day of age, this day and age. You know what I mean? And it was nice to see him and Tobey Maguire as Caraway, and mainly just there was something about them knowing that they're like lifelong best friends. You see that then like that chemistry came through. This genuine. Camaraderie. They worked well with each other. I did think he was funny in Catch Me If You Can. I just felt that, I don't know, after you saw the guy he's playing, it's like, oh, that's why he got away with it. He's like 19 and looks like a 30-year-old man, where like DiCaprio's 30 and looks 19. It was weird. But, he's been a movie star, and he's, like, checked all the boxes, you know what I mean? He's done his westerns. He's really known for his romantic shit. And, Inception. I was going to say, one thing about Inception was it was interesting. I love the movie, obviously. But, with him, it was, like, almost a changing of the guards. The first time you ever saw him in a movie where he was, like, the veteran cast member. He had this, it was almost like you see him bringing up the lower generation with Tom Hardy, Ellen Page, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It was kind of where he started to spin around for me. It started, he's getting older, so he's getting more interesting. And right now, I kind of think he's the actor to watch. And, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was his first movie since The Revenant movie, first movie in 4 years. He's never taken a break like that. But since he damn near killed himself doing The Revenant, I can't blame him. Anyhow, I hope you guys liked that video. I hope y'all like and agree with my DiCaprio rundown. What's your favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie? I'm going to tell you right now, I have one more of these videos, and it is going to be my top 5 favorite movies about movies. Please come back and join me. Hope you all enjoy this video. Already said that. Please like, share, subscribe, get involved. I'm Jake Davis, and I will catch you on the fly.